practical engineering.
I
In today's
swear,
episode,
the more and more I look into this, it's a ode to 9/11, yo. Like, for real, this is a ode to 9/11, man. Peep game, watch. I'll
talking
break it
about the
down.
I-95 bridge collapse.
So they're explaining the collapse just like the Twin Towers. Look, steel laid out,
Today's episode,
shown what they showed on 9/11. They showed, and all of a sudden they're wiring the steel and everything's out, right? The scrap.
The details in the intro are really all the details we know at the moment. A tanker truck crashed below the bridge, eventually leading it to collapse. There were some wild videos taken by motorists on I-95 during the fire, probably only minutes before the bridge fell, with the road deck sagging significantly. Fortunately, emergency crews were able to shut down the highway before anyone was seriously injured. The National Transportation Safety Board has had a crew on site to begin their investigation, but knowing the meticulous pace at which they work, it will probably be a year or more before we get their report. But the basics are pretty clear already, and in fact, even though we don't know all the details of this particular event, we've seen similar collapses on several occasions, and the sequence of events is almost all.
Den Keeper, what it is, go follow my boy, go follow me on Instagram.com, Jonathan_Quest, run it up,
always the same.
Donate, man, need money.
In 2002, a fire caused the main span of the I-20 interchange in Birmingham, Alabama, to sag by 3 meters or 10 feet, necessitating replacement of the bridge. Cause of the fire? A crashed fuel tanker. In 2006, a temporary part of the Brooklyn-Queens Expressway in New York collapsed during the fire. Again, the cause of the fire was a crashed tanker truck under the bridge. 2007, the MacArthur-Mays interchange in Oakland, California collapsed during a fire from a crashed fuel tanker. 2009, a bridge over I-75 in Detroit collapsed after a tanker truck crashed into the overpass. 2013, a diesel tanker crash damaged a bridge in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania that had to be demolished. 2014, a gasoline tanker exploded on I-65 in Tennessee, destroying 2 overpass bridges. Of course, this isn't just a U.S. phenomenon. In 2012, a tanker overturned in Rouen, France, damaging the Matilda Bridge over the Seine River and requiring part of it to be replaced. And of course, bridge fires don't only come from tanker truck crashes. In 2017, a massive fire under I-85 in Atlanta, Georgia that resulted in collapse happened because someone set fire to construction materials stored below the bridge. Incredibly, PennDOT was able to reopen this bridge a mere 2 weeks after it collapsed with a pretty clever solution. Rather than wait until the original bridges could be rebuilt to get I-95 back open, they decided to simply build a temporary embankment instead. After the demolition of the fire-damaged bridges was complete, the less critical off-ramp below the bridges remained closed so that crews from PennDOT's emergency contractor, Buckley & Company, could fill the area in and simply pave over the top.
Buckled.
My friend Rob built a little model of this on his channel you should check out after this. This temporary highway wasn't built using soil or crushed rock, the typical backfill material used in roadway embankments, at least not mostly. That stuff is heavy, so most roadway embankments have to be built slowly to allow time for the foundation to settle as each layer is added to the top, a process that can take months or even years. Not an option in this case. Plus, there are sewer lines below the existing road that could have been overloaded by a mountain of backfill on top. Instead, the design called for lightweight backfill called foamed glass aggregate. I have a whole video as much space as possible for the
That looks like ground zero, bro. I'm sorry.
next phase of the
That
repairs
looks
that
like
will
ground
replace the bridges.
zero.
That also required that both sides of the embankment have a retaining wall. In this case, mechanically stabilized earth walls that use reinforcing elements between each layer of backfill to keep the tall structure from collapsing. I've also done a few videos explaining MSE retaining walls if you want to learn more about them. The basics are easy to see in this drone footage. The reinforcement turns the backfill itself into a stable wall, making it able to both withstand vertical loads and hold back the rest up to the level of the highway on either side. Traffic was rerouted onto the temporary embankment starting June. After all, earthquakes against people are rarely injured, because most places have robust emergency response capabilities. Roads are closed well before a fire is able to significantly weaken a structure. The relative infrequency of serious fires at bridges and their unlikelihood of causing a public safety issue mean that we just don't devote a lot of resources to the problem right now, at least not proactive resources. The National Fire Protection Association does have some guidance for fires at bridges, but it's nebulous. They don't recommend what fire load should be considered, how to protect the bridge.
Just like that day, they're saying flames made it collapse, which is not true. It's not what happened. Okay, this is just further solidifying that the towers came down from fire, just like World Trade Center 7 didn't get hit, no jet fuel, nothing melted the steel, but it collapsed in full free fall form of gravity. This is crazy. Just like the Twin Towers fell with gravity, faster than gravity in 8 seconds. Concrete steel walls that you could freaking bomb for days and couldn't collapse like that. That's a controlled demolition. Damn, man. Wake up. Y'all sheep, man. Y'all freaking sheep, bro. Drink some orange juice, man. Y'all drink too much beer and alcohol anyway. Yo, Dan, what's good, man? Sorry, man. Just can't deal with it, man. Living in a matrix, man.
Against fire, or how to analyze a structure after a fire. See? And the guidelines only apply to bridges longer than 1,000 feet or 300 meters. When you think about bridges.
Next, why is this NASA battery maybe the future of energy? Don't trust NASA and a thing they say. For real. Later.